أخلاق بسند حسن لغيره عن الإمام الشعبي مرسلا. I want to narrate about the concept of contentment or rida. And honestly, I feel guilty. This is a topic that probably should be talked about in a bigger setting with more time to explain. But I tried to cover it as much as the best of my ability just within these khawatir. And I told you it's a double-edged sword. Contentment is an important piece of being Muslim. But if you don't know where to direct it, then it can backfire. You have to be content with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not with yourself. Right? If you turn that around, then you're disgruntled by God and you're happy with what you're doing, then it's a musibah. And then what you should be really focused on is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is content with you, like His rida is more important than yours. So you can't really balloon the importance of your own rida when really it's His rida that should matter most. But there's a piece of that, and then your rida towards the status quo. You shouldn't be content with the status quo when it's not helpful. And you should not confuse that with being content with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I talked about this last time. The last piece of this is, what about people? What about contentment towards people? How do I feel about people? So this hadith I'm going to narrate for you is in the collection of Imam Ibn Abi Dunya, radiallahu anhu, one of the great scholars of hadith and Islam, and a book called Makarim al-Akhlaq, a beautiful book. Not all the hadith in it are correct, or authentic, sorry. Most of them are correct in meaning, but not necessarily authentic in chains. This hadith here is mursal, meaning it's something Imam al-Sha'bi, radiallahu anhu, Amir al-Sha'bi, one of the great tabi'een scholars, one of the people who taught Abu Hanifa and people like him. He narrates it mursal, he narrates it right from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, does not name the Sahabi. But because there's ahadith that are exactly the same wording and explanation that are sahih, it's called hasanun li ghayri, meaning it's reasonable chain of narration because of the fact that it's only echoing or mirroring another narration that's exactly the same as it. And I like this one because there's something to it. قال لما أنزل الله تعالى على رسولنا الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم أجمعين قوله خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين قال يا جبريل ما هذا. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to the Prophet alayhi salatu, the wording in Surah Al-A'raf, خُذِ الْعَفُوَ وَأْمُرْ بِالْعُرْفِ وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ, which is an ayah that will take me half an hour to explain, so I'm not going to explain it. When the Prophet alayhi salatu would say, Ya Jibreel, what is this? Explain this to me. فَقَالَ أَنظِرْنِي حَتَّى أَسْأَلَ الْعَالِمِ. Give me time, I have to ask the knowledgeable one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال فذهب جبريل, Jibreel left him. فرجع, and then he came back. فقال يا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله يأمرك أن تصل من قطعك وأن تعفو عمن ظلمك وأن تعطي من حرمك. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, O Muhammad, commands you that you will repair the relations of kin with those who sever it with you, and you will show full pardon and forgiveness to those who have oppressed you, and that you will give and offer those who, when you were in need, refused and denied you and refused to give you. That's what he means. That's what this ayah means. So what does it have to do with content? I don't care whether you're content with people or not, nor does God, nor does Islam. Who cares? Content with people? What are you, insane? What are you going to waste time having rida with people or not having rida with people? Ya aini, they have nothing to do with your story. The only part of rida that matters is the one that you have with Allah, the one that you seek from Allah, and how you see yourself. People, they're NPRs. They're not part of it. They're not real in your story. They're just living their lives. They're not. What does it matter to you? Why do you have to have an opinion about them? Why do you have to judge them to begin with? Whether I radi upon people or not radi upon people. Who are you? What do you think you are? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assigned you judgment upon others for your rida to have importance. Like, if I am satisfied with you or not satisfied with you, what does that matter? If I think it matters, it's a musibah. If I think somehow that if I'm not radi upon you, that means something's going to go wrong in your life or something is not right. And why am I wasting time having an opinion about you to begin with? Why is that even mattering to me? Do I have nothing better to do in my life than to think about whether you're treating me well or not treating me well? Who cares? Live your life, do what you want. I'm doing what I need to do, and we will meet. If we're on the same path, we'll meet on the way there, or we don't. The Prophet ﷺ, his whole set of teachings was just do what you need to do and let people live the way they're going to live. You can't control others. So when it comes to others, صِلْ مِنْ قَطَعَكَ. There's a narration by Razin. There's a collection called Mufradat Razin. Razin is a known scholar of hadith, and there are certain narrations that he put together specifically, and he pulled out. And amongst them is the narration قال from Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib قال وجدنا مكتوبا على قائم سيف رسول الله عليه الصلاة والسلام. We found written on the base of the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام's sword, صل من قطعك واعف عمن ظلمك وأعط من حرمك. And a few more other words. يعني وأحسن إلى من أساء إليك. As for those who oppress you, forgive them. As for those who mistreat you, treat them better. As for those who deprive you and deny you, give them. As for those who sever their relationships, you make it up. Because it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter. The one rida who matters is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everyone else is, just be your best with them so that He is radi subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that He is radi subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because He looks at how I'm treating you, not how I judge you or how I feel about you, but how I treat you. And that earns me His rida. And that's what matters to me, then nothing else will. And I'll conclude this concept of rida and contentment with that hadith, and we'll start something new inshallah ta'ala next week. يروي الإمام ابن أبي الدنيا في مكارم الأخلاق بسند حسن لغيره عن الإمام الشعبي قال رواه مرسلا لما أنزل الله تعالى على رسوله الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم أجمعين قوله خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما هذا يا جبريل؟ فقال أنظرني حتى أسأل العالم. فذهب فرجع ثم قال يا محمد إن الله يأمرك أن تعفو عمن ظلمك وأن تصل من قطعك وأن تعطي